League 2.0.
World League Wrestling, this is where sports entertainment stops. This is where pro wrestling will always live.
Welcome, everybody, to WLW Amplify. I'm CT Harrison, along with my broadcast colleague, Martin Kadich.
How's it going, CT? It's great to be here this morning.
Is it?
Well, we'll figure that out as we are talking to a member of the Empire today. So.
We will. On today's show, Camaro Jackson, one half of the World League Wrestling Tag Team Champions from the Empire, will be on the show today here shortly. First, I want to take an opportunity to thank our sponsors, Trenary Ford in Moscow Mills, Trenary Chevrolet in Troy, Impact Digital Designs.
I wanted to kind of mix it up.
You did?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, please.
CT Harrison Business Solutions and Traveling East Productions.
Yay.
And Impact Digital Designs.
Oh, now you throw that back in there. Gotcha. Okay. Spice it up. I understand.
Trying to help out just a little more, a little more.
Did you watch some wrestling this week?
Very little.
I went back and I watched ROH for the first time in quite a while. And it was Dalton Castle and Jay Lethal. They brought back the pure match, they brought back the pure championship.
Right.
So that's going to be cool to watch.
I was still reeling from Sheeta versus Thunder Rosa.
Oh, yeah. AEW.
Blew my socks off. I love that match. I thought it was a pretty good pay-per-view all in all.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've watched a lot of opinion shows and things like that, seeing what people are thinking. Really like the direction they're going with Roman Reigns, though.
I'm liking it. Ooh, you can't go wrong with Paul Heyman anyways.
This is true.
So
or
Paul Heyman will elevate your... Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. Who do you think is the mystery SmackDown woman?
I've been wanting to say it's Alexa Bliss with Bray Wyatt.
No.
I know that the mystery woman that they've come out with a tattoo reveal thing, that it's Carmella.
We'll look at the legs.
But, you never know. That could be a twist too.
Yeah.
I mean, they did give us a walrus.
Dude, bringing back the evil McMahon puppet, classic. I love it.
Right. I mean, but
and the walrus.
They've had us expecting now for almost a month a new person.
Right.
In the Wyatt family. And it was just a new puppet making fun of Paul Heyman. So
yeah, but Alexa Bliss did use Sister Abigail on Nikki Cross.
I did hear about that.
So that was cool. Yes, Austin, I agree. I think it is Carmella as well. Wahaha. I think so. I'm trying to get our stuff up here on the screen so we can see it.
After that, you seen Matt Hardy take that fall.
Yeah, that was vicious.
Just another glaring moment of kids don't try this at home. This is really dangerous stuff,
Yeah. Absolutely. What else? Moxley's going to have to face Archer.
Well, they're not making it any easier on him. That's the one thing's for sure.
But they're making him a fighting champion.
This is very true. It's a good thing to see. It harkens back to kind of what Cody was doing with that TV title, what John Cena did with the U.S. title. I like them kinds of champions. It's great to watch.
And how classic a character is MJF? How old school is that?
Right. He's everything that he exemplifies everything to make you hate him. I mean, he's arrogant. He'll take a shortcut. He'd rather hit you in the back of the head than in the face. Mm-hmm. All those good things. Not to mention if he's got a little bit of power, he can lord over you. Well, he wastes no time in doing it. So, yeah, he exemplifies everything that you want to see in your villains.
Makes sense to me. Speaking of, I guess I don't want to say evil characters or anything, or evil people, but certainly not some of the nicest people anymore. The Empire.
They feel like they've got a lock on everything going on, and
well, you have two heavyweight champion caliber, you have the heavyweight champion in Derek Stone. You have a former heavyweight champion in John Stone, and you have a man who could be heavyweight champion anytime he wants to, should he make up his mind, in Camaro Jackson.
Exactly. I mean,
they control the gold right now.
Right. That's a lot of clout. I mean, and it's, if you look around, there's not a lot of other unified people. You've seen just at McDinger's, Moses and JDR tag teaming together when Moses' tag team partners, Colton Theron, fought.
Right.
There's not a whole lot of unified fronts to stand up against them. And, well, with those three, you need a strong unified front for sure.
Absolutely.
We've had a lot of guys come here on this show that say they don't like the Empire, or that they don't think the Empire is as great as they say they are, but they're all standing alone against a unified front of three people. So there's not a lot that the guys can do about it until they get it together. The Empire seems to be running things, and they use their clout. Mm-hmm. And I mean, if you're fighting one, you're fighting all.
That's an absolute truth, and they've shown that many times, and not just all of them, but rarely has John Webb ever come out to the ring without a chair.
Well, that too. I mean, that goes with being, he's the Triple Crown. He's had the tag titles, the junior heavyweight title,
the first junior heavyweight champion.
That's right.
Of World League Wrestling.
All of that stuff carries clout. And, if you got it, I guess, the attitude is to use it, just like what I said with MJF.
I have a few things I really want to talk to Camaro about today, other than the normal, finding out more about him, where he came from and how he got to here, and his thoughts and things on Harley, but in the World League Wrestling as a whole. But also, I really want to ask him, I really want to get into his mind of why he would join the Empire, for one thing, and why he would turn and attack Leland Race.
Sometimes it's
it's become a bragging thing for him that, I broke Leland's neck.
Yes, it is. I mean, if there, Leland was the benchmark. He's the gatekeeper for World League Wrestling.
For a good reason.
Right. So to be able to say you took him out, that's
bragging.
That's a hell of a feather in your cap.
Absolutely. That's a notch, man. That's a notch. And we'll talk to him about that. And also, you fans, those of you listening, don't hesitate in the comments. Having some issues with the social right now in order to actually put you on the screen on this episode, but we will get to your questions because I'm watching them right now. So get your questions ready for Camaro Jackson, and be sure, and we'll make sure he knows about them and hears about them, and we'll answer them for you. So we'll go to that. But before we do that, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we will be talking with one half of the World League Wrestling Tag Team Champions in Camaro Jackson. So stick around, and we'll be right back.
Jim Trenary Ford in Moscow Mills, Missouri has knowledgeable sales staff and expert service technicians dedicated to delivering the best possible customer service from any Ford dealership in the region. Subscribe to our channel for comprehensive vehicle walkarounds, test drives, and model-specific how-to videos, which will give you a glimpse into the passion we have for these vehicles and the real difference the Jim Trenary experience makes. Stay up to date on the newest technology, features, models, and news from Jim Trenary Ford, where our huge inventory means we'll have the perfect vehicle to fit your lifestyle. Our seasoned team of sales and service experts can get you in, out, and on with your day without the pressure you'll feel at the other dealerships. Subscribe to our channel and stop by to see the difference the Jim Trenary experience can make today.
That is right. You saw correctly. October 3rd, we will be back at the Race Wrestling Arena for wrestling action being taped for TV, of course.
Looking forward to that. Just, it's like I said, every time that there's a show, and especially now with as few and far between as they are.
The world, the folks here at World League Wrestling, and especially you, the fans, have stayed very strong through all of this and through this whole thing. And you've stuck with us, and we are going to be right there for you on October 3rd with another show at the arena. So please come on out then. Doors open at 6. Bell time is at 7. I can't tell you who's on the card that night yet, but if you will be sure to, all you got to do is keep up with us on all social media. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. We're out there. Go find us, and that will keep you in touch with everything that is going on. You will find out everything World League Wrestling right there. Also, go to www.harleyrace.com, and you can help support and be a big part of our WLW universe by getting those T-shirts, getting those hats, getting those mugs. It's the house that Harley Race built, and we are continuing to shine the walls, build the bricks. The mortar is still there, man.
That's right. That's right.
We are WLW strong, Pally.
As David Norman just said, WLW has great, faithful fans.
Yeah, man.
And with that, with the fans, we're also there. We see you guys seeing us. We're watching for you. We know you guys are behind us, and we're proverbially standing there shoulder to shoulder with you. We're going to keep on going into this future. We're going to keep on giving you great wrestling, and we just want you to join the family, and spread the family, because that's what it is at base. So, I'm excited. I can't help it. You know how I get before
I hear you.
shows.
Oh, I totally hear you. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't we get right to it, and let's give Camaro Jackson a call and get him on the show.
Let's do this.
All right, here we go. Maybe. There it goes.
Hello.
Camaro Jackson,
Welcome
one
to
half
the show.
of the World League Wrestling Heavyweight Champions. Welcome to WLW Amplify.
Yo, what's up, man?
How are you today?
I'm great. Enjoying the weather while it's still nice out.
Yeah, it's beautiful out there, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Can't complain about it. At least for now, I can't.
We just made the announcement that October 3rd, World League Wrestling is back at the Race Wrestling Arena for another show, for TV and everything, for the fans, live. Can we expect to see Camaro Jackson there?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, then, there you hear it, folks. We don't know who he's facing or anything right now, but we do know Camaro will be there. So you heard it first right here on Amplify. Look, hey, breaking news. We actually got some breaking news.
That's right.
So
it's great to be able to break the big story. I'd like to know who he's fighting.
yeah,
So
I'm sure it'll be him and John. But anyhow, I digress. Camaro, take us back, man. Tell us about young Camaro Jackson. What led up? What was going on in your life that led you up to studying wrestling and wanting to be a wrestler?
So growing up, I've always been a fan of wrestling. 5 or 6 years old. Always wanted to be a wrestler, but it was one of those things like, all right, everyone wants to be a wrestler, but it never really like came to like life for me. So I've always been an athlete. I ran track for a good quarter of my life. Then once I got to college and found out that track on the collegiate level wasn't what I imagined it would have been, I took a different route and I wanted to like venture out. I'm like, okay, I'm not running track no more. Maybe I'll try to be a wrestler. And this is a fun story right here. Let's see, I want to say I think the summer of 2014, I actually attended a camp for Harley Race, the academy. It was one of the 3-day camps, and that was like my first like grab at wrestling. I wouldn't have had it started until 2 years later, but that was my first like time like walking through the door of wrestling, being in the ring, training like a wrestler, eating like a wrestler, and it was a mind-blowing experience, especially just coming off being a student athlete and never really being inside of like a wrestling training arena ever. Just walking in to the academy, you see all these pictures of people of importance in wrestling. You see everything from Japan, Noah, and see the weekend I was there, Harley was there. I forget who else was there in my camp. That's why I met Leland, Stacy, Kyle. I met like pretty much all of the guys of the roster, and I was just so oblivious to what was going on because I was like, oh my God, I knew where I was, I knew who I was talking to, but I was just oblivious, like, wow, like this is too much for me right now. And then, like I was starstruck, you know what I mean? I was just so excited to be in the moment. Like I said, I wouldn't have started my actual training to 2 years later under the teachings of Derek Stone in Kansas City, where I was getting my degree at the University of Missouri, Kansas City at the time. So, yeah.
Wow. And then and the cycle would come back. It would circle back to where you are now with Derek Stone and John Webb. So that circles all back then.
Yes, the circle of life, man.
That's great. Hey, speaking of that, your tag team partner, John Webb, asked, he says, I have a question for Camaro. Why is it that we're not only the best WLW tag champs that have ever been, but also the best looking?
That's an easy question to answer because Webb has always needed someone like me, and he finally has that person who's going to go through any type of hoop, any type of loop. He's going to do anything by any means necessary to be successful, and I think Webb finally found his true self, and that's a great thing. And I'm glad I was able to help him. He as well as him helping me as well. So like I feel like when you put us together, it's spontaneous combustion, man.
Right. Well, it works. I mean, and it has worked. You guys have made a fantastic team, and well, I mean, it only goes to show you've got the gold. So that being said, I want to go back and tell us some of your Harley experience. Tell us about what it was actually like to be, in the camp and to hear the word, hear anything from Harley, what it meant to you.
So like just him interacting with me, like when I was learning how to bump, it was funny. I kept bumping on my butt. First day training, pretty much everyone does that. And like I didn't get the concept of bumping. and like especially in that training ring, it was awful because it felt like I was hitting the ground. So trying to make myself land flat. And I remember Harley's just saying, he took a smoke out of his cigarette. He's saying, "You keep bumping on your ass on that, you're gonna get a little 2 inches shorter." On the inside, I laugh because I'm like, "Oh my god, this is hilarious!" And like on the outside, like I'm like, "Okay, yes sir, yep, you got it. I'll fix it." I never fixed it because I didn't know, I didn't understand it. You know what I mean? But I tried my best.
Yeah, it seemed to have worked out in the end.
Yeah.
So you went off and you've done shows, all around the area and everything, and in other promotions. And what brought you back to WLW? Was it the tag team division, or did you have other aspects when you first came? Was there other things you had, on your mind?
It was always a goal of mine to perform for WLW. Like I was always at the top of my list of like goals because it was the first place where I got my feet wet.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first place where I was able to experience wrestling, but on the inside, experience being a wrestler. So it was always it was a WLW became a part of me in a way. So I'm like, okay, I have to get back here. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I have to get back here. So when I got the call, like, "Hey, we want you guys here," I'm like, "Oh, wow, it's working out." And it's funny, I didn't expect it to happen as soon as it did, but I'm grateful that it happened.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Alex Med would like to know, who inspired you to get into wrestling?
Oh, wow. Wow. I would say inspired. Well, I was really young when I got inspired to get into it, but I guess I would say like who inspired me to actually, I guess, pursue it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's a weird. I'm gonna give you a weird answer.
Mm-hmm.
Because growing up, being raised by a single mother, I never experienced her being able to do the things that she wanted. Never being able to say like I'm happy with what I do, and I always told myself like, okay, I don't want to ever feel that way. I don't ever want to live with a shoulda, coulda, woulda, or I could have been this. I should have been that. So it was pretty much watching her like just go through so much. Her sacrifice motivated me in the long run to like chase my dreams and also go through that same sacrifice, although it's completely different in a way. But having that being resilient, always being resilient, having that resiliency to do your best and just try. And in her case, it was hard because she had to take care of me by herself. And I'm like, okay, by any means, I'm going to get this bag. And for people who don't know what get this bag mean, I'm gonna get this money. So that's always been me. And when I've always wanted something bad enough, I'll get it. And like if I have to struggle to get it, then that's not a problem at all. So I would say my mother definitely inspired me because, man, just without just watching her go through what she went through, just to make sure that I was okay, I never would really have the wherewithal to like understand what sacrifice meant, especially of getting what you wanted or having what you wanted. Because even though she had her own dreams, wanted to do her own thing, her main thing was to make sure that I was okay. That was her number one.
Mm-hmm.
So she went through what she went through by any means to make sure that we were good. We got the things that we needed to have. So I was like, okay, I can do the same thing, but with wrestling.
Did you grow up in the St. Louis area?
Yes.
You were born and raised here?
Yeah, so I grew up originally on the south part of St. Louis. And when I was about 11 or 12, I moved to University City.
Okay. Okay.
Alex Med just chimed in. He wants to know, who do you like wrestling most in World League Wrestling? Who's your favorite opponent?
Oh man. Ah, well, I want to take you guys back. What was it, last year? 2 years ago? Last year? Yeah, last year. Um, Night of Champions, man. Kyle and Rex will always be my favorite match of all time in WLW. Always. And just solely because it was my first Night of Champions. I got to wrestle in front of that electric crowd. Or
That was a great crowd, wasn't it?
oh my goodness, phenomenal. And like on top of that, like I got to wrestle for the tag team championships. The stakes were high, energy was high. Harley was there. It was just it was a stacked night. It was an overwhelming feeling because it was something that was on my bucket list, and it happened so fast, but it happened. And I'll never forget that match. I'll never forget like hearing those fans like chanting this is awesome, fight forever. Like I never thought in a million years like that would make me feel the way I felt that night, because it meant something to me. Even like when the match was over, they were just on their feet, and I'm like, wow, like this is mind blowing to me, because I never thought this would happen so soon in my career. People actually liked us, actually thought we were great. You know what I mean? So man, no lie, hats off to Kyle and Rex, man. One of my favorite moments in World League Wrestling.
Well, you know, that brings you to a very serious and important question then. If hearing all that and how that made you feel at Night of Champions, to hear the crowd that way and what that meant to you when they chanted for you and everything, how does that translate to joining the Empire and turning on Leland Race that night? How did you go from that to now?
Well, you got to think, Night of Champions, we lost.
Correct.
Every opportunity, every high stakes match going forward, it was a loss. It was an L. It was an L. It was L. I was tired of losing. I was tired of feeling like I give my all, I give my best, and I get nothing out of it. And now it's time to create a true ruckus. I have to show that I'm more than what I am. I'm more than just the best Camaro Jackson. I have to prove that I'm at the top of the food chain. And what do you do when you want to try to be number one? When you try to aim for the top of the food chain, you cut the head off the lion, and that's what I did to Leland Race.
Okay, I get that. But to be the top of the mountain right now, that top of the mountain is your cohort, your compatriot, Derek Stone.
Well, there's more than one seat at the top, if you don't know, CT.
Well, you do guys now. You have the tag team titles, and that
Correct.
I mean, you guys have all the gold right now.
Correct.
As a unit.
Yes.
Do you? Alex Med asked, having been mainly in the tag team division, have you ever had thoughts on a singles run to go for the WLW heavyweight title?
Oh, Alex. I see what you're trying to do here, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm going to be completely transparent.
Please.
Yes. That's yes. Of course. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't want to be the number one guy? Who wouldn't want to have their name on that lineage of WLW heavyweight champion? You know, right now we're the WLW tag champions, me and John Webb. You got Derek Stone, the greatest human being on this earth, as the WLW world heavyweight champion. Now, not saying there's going to come a point in time where maybe or maybe not I go for that championship again, or try to go for it again, because I have before in the past.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, regardless if Derek has it, regardless if John has it, or regardless if I have it, the Empire will still reign supreme. And that's all that matters.
We said at the beginning of the show that the Empire is quite a unique group because you have the number one guy in World League Wrestling. You have the World League Wrestling heavyweight champion in Derek Stone. Okay.
Yes.
You have a former WLW heavyweight champion and the very first ever junior heavyweight champion in John Webb. And then you have Camaro Jackson, who, bar none, is probably one of the most powerful men in World League Wrestling today and is probably most likely capable of taking that title anytime he wants to. That's quite a group when you think about it. No, I'm asking you. I mean, you look back and think about what you have created.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, when you just think about, let's go through that list of names again. Derek Stone. When you say that name, you say it with conviction because you know there comes like multiple definitions that are attached to his name. Mm-hmm. Derek Stone has been around for what 30 years, 20 years, 25 years, 30 years, whatever.
The very first trainer at World League Wrestling.
Exactly. And
a man who has traveled extensively.
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be wrestling. Let's put that out there. If it wasn't for Derek, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Derek has something to say. Derek actually has something to say. Derek said, I wouldn't want to be associated with someone who wouldn't want to be the champion someday. He'll get it someday. I can promise you that. That's what Derek Stone had to say.
He's hardly ever wrong. Everything has ever came out of his mouth has been, at least to me, has been 110% correct. He has said a lot of things to me to just help me grow as a person and as a wrestler. I tell you that much. That's the honest, that's the stone cold truth right there.
Well, I tell you what, it's fun to sit back. Of course, I sit back behind the camera most of the time, and I don't get to see everything. But as a fan, watching Empire is really enjoyable. I enjoy it.
I'm glad you like it, man.
So,
as a ref, they're a handful.
As a ref, they're a handful?
Yes.
We're not that bad, man. I disagree.
No, you're not
that bad.
You're not that bad. No, I'll be nice. You rub my head and you get on with the fighting.
You have a nice ball head. Nice ball.
Hey fans, if you've those of you watching and listening to the show, if you've got something you want to say or something you would like to ask, feel free, because this is a free-form show. It's a great way for you to get to know all of us here at World League Wrestling. So, deadgum near almost nothing is off the table.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't want to answer, he'll just tell you, I ain't answering that.
I'd like to go in a little, and I will not shut up, John. To go in a little bit more in depth, you talked about the tutelage of Derek Stone and that you were trained by him. Can you give us some insight to the training that you got with Derek? Because it's like he's one of the first guys I go to. So
you ever seen Rocky IV, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So training with Derek was like training to fight Ivan Drago every day. 4 days a week. That's the truth, man. We'll do ring stuff, then we'll do a good 30 minutes of cardio, and it's nonstop, no breaks. We'll probably get a sip of water, but we're going. I was in the best shape of my life. And I know that's real cliche to say, especially since I'm very young, But when I say I could have moved a house and threw it down the street under his training, especially his cardio workouts alone, some of the best training of my life.
You know, for such a big guy, he does not blow up, does he?
No, Derek. No, he's very methodical, and he doesn't get tired the same way as other people do.
David Norman had a question, and David Norman asked, "Does the Empire plan to recruit any more members? You got your eye on anybody? Maybe a young lion that you want to take under your wing?"
You know, I thought about. You know, it's funny. That what's that kid's name? Moses.
A big boy.
I whipped on him a lot lately. Me and John Webb a lot lately, but I feel like he's getting tired of losing. So you know, when you lose so much, you get agitated. You want to figure things out. See, I'm speaking from experience. You get agitated. Mm-hmm. What do you have to do to hit the next step, to climb the next step? What Moses has to do is make a decision for himself. Don't think about WLW. Don't think about Leland, because the only thing Leland is thinking about is healing from his neck injury because I broke his neck. Don't worry about that. And Moses, if you're watching, if you're listening, if you're hearing, if you want to be successful in WLW, if you want to move forward with your career, you'll join the Empire. Well, you'll try. Put in an application, whatever. Because there's opportunity to grow. There is opportunity to grow, as you can see. So, well, just saying.
Speaking of Leland.
Yes.
You one night you turned, you caught him a good one, and you took care of that neck, and you claimed to have broke it. Do you expect to see Leland again in a WLW ring? Do you expect Leland to remember and maybe come back for some retribution?
Honestly?
Yeah. I mean, seriously, do you expect it? Are you anticipating it a little, or looking over your shoulder a little bit maybe? Just thinking, I wonder if, I mean, this is Leland Race we're talking about. We're not talking about a guy who lays down. We're talking about a guy who fights every inch. So you got at least, that's got to be in your mind just a little bit.
I mean, if he was fighting every inch, he'll be back on the show right now, wouldn't he? I mean, let's be honest. He's Mr. Leland Race, this is my legacy. I am WLW. Well, right now, you are the hospital. You are a rehabilitation center because you're doing nothing. His legacy is over. He's done. I've moved on from Leland, but I have to remind everyone how serious I am when I say this. I broke Leland Race's neck. So that means I'm for real about this. So I don't think too much about him. I hope he's healing okay, but he's nothing. I ain't worried about Leland, man. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't even know why you asked me that, to be honest.
Well, you just don't know. Nah, I mean, you're a smart guy, and I ask you that and I only asked you that because you're a smart man, and you're psychological. You're smart. Okay. You're psychological. So it had to be possibly something that might have been, hey, look, I'm not dumb. You might have said to yourself, look, I'm not dumb enough to think that this man is not gonna, come back after me at some point. I mean, I gotta expect it.
I'll tell you this. If he thinks he's going to come back, if he does come back, let's say that, hypothetically speaking, I'll be ready for him. I'll be prepared.
Okay.
I was prepared once before, and I'll do it again.
And that's an answer.
I'll do it again. Yeah. I'll give you that. Yeah. Just know I stay ready.
Yeah, I figured that. And I'm sure the boys are probably watching for it as well. So, there you have it. Let's get back to your tag team championships a moment.
Okay.
Colton Theron Vaught and Moses the Deliverer.
Whoa, oh wow. Did Colton retire after that match? because I haven't seen him ever since I put him through the ring. Is he okay? Because just wrestled Moses and he had a different tag partner. I'm trying to figure out what happened to that guy. Do you know what happened to him? Have you seen him?
I personally have not.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen it either.
It's a shame, man. Is he in the hospital?
Not that I'm aware of.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe hanging out with Leland, massaging his neck. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would think there might be a rematch in the future at some point.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. But I mean, they're going to lose again and again and again. However many times they want to try it.
Okay.
You know, from what
I like to fight, man. I'll fight all day.
It's like I was saying before the show. You know, Empire's unified.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the roster does not seem to have that unification. They're moving between tag team partners. They're coming out. You know, they're coming out singular. They're coming out. You know, and the Empire's unified. They're united in everything they do.
Right.
And that, you know, no matter how you look at it, it's hard to knock them off the top just because of that.
Oh, I agree.
You know, Moses is floating around with different tag team partners, and as he said, you know, Colton Theron Vaught, he takes off and disappears, and you know, there's not a great tag team out there right now to challenge that I know of.
No, I can't see of anything right now. I can't think of anybody other than you know, then of course maybe Colton Theron Vaught coming back and them trying to get a rematch.
But you know what's crazy though? You know what's wild about Colton? He kicked his own tag partner in the face. He kicked his own tag partner in the face.
You don't believe that was? You don't believe that was accidental?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've seen crazy things happen. I don't know. Maybe he was tired of Moses. He just want to take a different direction. I don't know. But he wasn't going to take a different direction on my time. I don't know. I don't know. I could be. I'm more than likely right, but I don't know, man. It's weird.
Okay.
Well, John Webb says because we're the best, and that's why. You know, but also Alex Med says these young lions are hungry. So, you know, there's a whole lot coming towards you. You know, now that you do have the tag team titles, you know, even without the unity of the roster, you do have a target on your back.
Anytime you've got a title, you've got a target on your back.
So who do you think of as the closest challenge to you and John Webb? Who are you watching out for? Should I say?
I mean, I know you don't think anybody is a challenge, really, but what you know, who do you think comes closest to coming after those titles? Is there anybody you'd like to see come after him?
Okay, there we go. I like that question better. Oh man, who's worthy? Let me think of something. You know what? What's that? That's that guy's name. John Webb's skeleton in the closet. Darren Gamblin. Where is he at these days?
Oh, Gamble.
He's someone. Yeah. That guy. Yeah, him. Where he's at that days?
Well, he is going through the Young Lions right now. He has challenged every single Young Lion to a match. He says he wants to face all of them. That's where he's at right now.
So I'll tell you what. When he's done playing hopscotch with the kids, he can grab one of those Young Lions, and maybe if we're up for it, we'll give him a shot. Not a shot to tag titles, but a shot at us to see what they talking about. Because very interested to see how he's still holding up, man.
Well, now Derek just said that you should drop 30 pounds. What? Oh, what are the long-term goals for your career? I'm sorry, I got a lot of questions in front of me. Alex Med wants to know, what are your long-term goals?
Overall, in general, or
for your career?
WLW?
What are your long-term goals for your? Okay, let's start. Let's do that a two-parter. Let's say, what are your long-term goals for your for WLW, and what are your long-term goals for your career?
long-term goals for WLW. Man, I want it all. I want the gold. I want the success. I want to be on the front of every poster. I want to be on the banners, the ring aprons, the posts, whatever you want to call it. One of these days, I'm going to be WLW. The Empire is WLW, but one day I'm going to be WLW, and that's period.
Top of the mountain.
What was the other question? Overall in my career, man,
Yeah.
I just want to make money and be successful. Period.
Pay the bills and keep a roof over the house and raise a family.
Yes, sir.
I hear you.
And be good at it while I'm doing it.
Okay. Derek Stone also said that you should drop 30 pounds and beat Sean Patrick.
Derek,
What is Sean? About 190? 195? What is Sean?
Yeah. Oh, sweet, man. If you move to St. Louis and give me that training regimen, I will gladly do that for you. And I will retire him, break his neck, put him in the hospital, wherever you want to call it, whatever. Sean Patrick. That's funny. This guy has 2 first names, 2 last names for a name. Sean Patrick. Sean. What are you, Sean and the Patrick? What?
Alex also just chimed in that said a good team to challenge for your titles would be Jack Gamble and Jaden Dominic Rose, who has just recently returned. What are your thoughts on his return?
You know what? I'll be completely honest. I like Jaden. One of my favorite opponents in the ring.
Very talented man.
He actually defeated me his first night back. So that's something that's been in the back of my mind a lot lately. Every time I see him, every time I step in the ring with him, he got me one-on-one. So that's...
Well, here's something else you might want to think about too. We lost him on the call. Maybe he'll get back with us.
Maybe he can finish what he was saying.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways. Maybe we'll get him back here in a second and we'll talk some more with him. But I was going to ask him at one point about the return of Steve. And well, we totally lost him there. Let's try it. Let's try to get him back. I wonder if he lost connection. If he did, I'm sorry. We'll see if we can't get him back as quick as we can. But I like the idea of a Jack Gamble, Jaden Dominic Rose tag team. That would probably work out pretty good. Both those guys are good on the mat. Both those guys can hit hard. Both of them are ring veterans.
Exactly.
A lot of experience. So, that would be a pretty good matchup, I think.
Speaking just simply for Jack Gamble and Jaden Dominic Rose, they've both been champions before. They've both held titles for extended period of time. They know what it takes to be champion. And really, with a lot of the people challenging right now, you have to worry about that pedigree of being a champion before and knowing what it takes because they're all young.
Yeah, that's true.
And, but I'd also like to get some elaboration with Steve.
Well, I was going to say, with the return of Superstar Steve, would in the back of his mind, and him and John's in the chat, so maybe he can answer as well. But what about an SB Superstar Steve team up again? Would that be something that they would think about coming back at him?
While they were a great tag team, but they could never get on the same page, and I don't know still if they're on the same page. So,
Derek Stone, excuse me. Derek Stone said Camaro is a star, a champion, a father, and the best in WLW, and will rule the Midwest. And you know what? He's probably right. John Webb, he said it's probably Martin's fault per usual. Blame everything on the ref. I get it. Alex Med, that's not a bad idea. They should do a 6-pack challenge for the WLW Heavyweight Championship. I don't know if I would do it for the Heavyweight Championship, but I might do a 6-pack challenge for a number one contender.
Now that's a thing. That would be nice.
Alex said Derek Stone, John Webb, Camaro Jackson, JDR, Jack Campbell, and Superstar Steve.
Well, I'm not sure if he wants them all to be partners, because there's not enough titles to go around.
All right, you back with us, champ?
Yeah, sorry about that. Lost connection there.
The question that we were going to ask you was, recently, Superstar Steve has returned to World League Wrestling, and when he returned, he came in to help save his old partner in Espy. Okay, have you thought about Espy and Steve coming after those titles again? Was that anything you might have maybe put on your radar a little bit, thinking this could be something?
I've never wrestled. I've wrestled Superstar Steve before. I've never wrestled Espy before, but that's definitely a challenge I can see happening in the future. Only problem is both those guys aren't consistent. They're not there every show. They're not there every night. So I really can't put my handle on it. There's no consistency with those two. Much respect for their work. Great performers from a historical standpoint, but from a present today or right now, where are they? I mean, Superstar Steve just came back, cool, but where is Espy? Espy will come back one day, Superstar Steve's not there. Espy's there, Steve's not there. Let's get on the same page. See, that's the problem. No one knows what they're doing. They're not on the same page. If you want these challenges, you want these aspirations of being great, you have to be consistent, man. No matter what. And I just feel like there's too much complacency with that. Too comfortable in what they're at. And good for them. If they want to leave and come back and take a 6-month vacation, nurse an injury, I don't care. Do that. That's on you. Because while they're gone, me, Stone, and Webb will continue doing what we're doing the best. And that's being dominant and being champions at that. So.
Well, you know what? And those are two words that definitely describe the Empire right now as dominant and champions. I mean, you can't argue those
100%.
Those points. What's that? Jack Gamble said nothing but misfit tag teams. All right then. If you had any advice for the up and coming wrestlers, the boys and gals going through the academy now, what would that advice be?
Don't get too comfortable, ever. Yeah. Always stay sharp. Don't think you know the blueprint to everything. Don't think you have it down. Don't think just because, okay, I've been here for X amount of time, I got it made. You don't, man. Because there's so much you can learn. There's so much you can do to perfect your craft. Always be a student of the game, no matter how old or how long you are in it. Always be a student to the game, because that's how you become great. It's a fact that works. It worked for the greats. It worked for Harley. It worked for Leland. It worked for Derek. It's worked for John Webb, and now it's working for me. Always be humble, but always remember, don't let nobody walk all over you like you nothing. Have respect for those who's come before you. But also remember, on both ends, respect is earned and not given. And sometimes you have to take that respect. Sometimes you have to grab it for yourself. And that's okay. And that's cool. Sometimes you got to do that. But don't take it for granted because it could go away. So
Alex,
any young lions, any baby cubs, whatever you want to call it, listening to this, hear me out. This is real. Don't take this for granted. Don't become complacent. Don't become sorry for yourself. Don't do none of that, because that's not going to help you grow as a performer. And furthermore, that's not going to help you grow as a person. Because wrestling and life are pretty much the same thing. Don't forget that. You
work for what you get, man.
Period, man.
Pro wrestling's not just a once every couple Saturday things. It's an everyday thing. You have to be on that, and there's no ceiling. You can always learn more. You can always get better.
Yes, absolutely.
Alex Med said everybody wants your spot.
Yep.
And you should defend your spot that way. And the only way you can defend your spot is to keep morphing yourself. Keep becoming better. Tomorrow, be a better wrestler than you were today, and the next day, be a better wrestler that day than you are tomorrow. Just keep every day. If you fix one thing every day and you do something different every day, imagine how good you're going to be in a year.
Yep. Absolutely.
And it's worked well for, you look at Derek Stone in all these years, how good Derek Stone is today. Look at John Webb and look at where you're at today.
Yes, sir. You get it, CT. You get it, man. I ain't got to tell you. You get it.
Last minute, anything you want to plug? Where can people find you? Are you on the gram? Are you on Facebook? Where can your fans find you?
His Twitter's on fire all the time. I'm telling you.
So follow me on Twitter, man. I love Twitter. At Hill Camaro. So HEEL Camaro, CAMARO. Instagram is the same as my Twitter. Facebook, you can add me on Camaro Jackson.
All right, then. That's about all we've got time for today. Camaro, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate you guys so much.
And we will see you on October 3rd.
Yes, sir. I'll be there.
All right. Take care, champ. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
One half of the WLW Tag Team Champions, along with his partner, John Webb, that was Camaro Jackson.
Man.
Formerly one half of Alpha Omega.
Yeah, we didn't get into all of that.
No.
But, he's a tag team champion with John
That's
Webb
the
right
past.
now.
We want to talk about now.
Right.
So that's great. I do have something I would like to announce coming up. Those of you that have joined Martin and I on our live commentary during Thursday Night Showdown will be, I hope you will be happy to hear that we're going to add a little bit extra when we go live. The next time we will debut a new after show. So stay on the feed when you're watching, because it will be followed directly with a show called Shut Up and Talk Wrestling.
It goes back to that old Harley adage, you shut up and wrestle,
So what we'll do is we'll watch the show together, we'll commentate, and then after the show, we will let's all discuss what we just watched and where we think things are going and what we'd like to see and everything World League Wrestling. And that will be live, and that will actually be a different format. We will not be doing, you will not just be hearing us, but you will actually be able to see us on that show, and you'll be able to talk to us face to face.
That's right, and we'd like to apologize early.
I'd like to apologize for the fact that we both have faces for radio. But no, it's going to be a great time. We're going to enjoy it with you, the fans, because at the end of the day, that's what we do it for.
Yep. 100%.
So I'd like to say thank you to our sponsors one more time. Jim Trenary Ford in Moscow Mills, Jim Trenary Chevrolet in Troy, Impact Digital Designs,
CT Harrison Business Solutions, and Traveling East Productions.
It's been a fantastic Sunday. Time to get out of here.
Time to get some food.
That's right. And who's our guest next week?
Next week, we're going to have WLW referee, first women's referee that I know of, Elaney Harley.
Elaney Harley will be here. Is she coming in studio or is she going to call?
She said she would be here in studio, but she could call. But, in studio is always more fun.
Fantastic. Looking forward to that. We will see you guys. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Alex, I'm glad you said that. You guys need to come see me for some last minute things we need to talk about. But yes, some new news coming from Alex and Sarge as well. And, well, heck, we'll see you. We will see you this Thursday.
This Thursday.
This coming up Thursday will be Thursday Night Showdown. That will be the regular program that we always do. And then on Saturday morning, please join me over on the Traveling East Productions page for an episode of Morning Job in Lincoln County. That will be at 8 o'clock a.m. to 10 a.m. Or more, should we decide.
Always
I'll be doing that
informative.
with Andrew Dodd. We'll talk everything Lincoln County, including World League Wrestling. And then join us back on Sunday afternoon at 4 o'clock p.m. for Amplify. I think we got it.
That's pretty good roundup right there, CT.
And more big news coming. So
That's right. Always big news coming.
always big news coming. Why? Because it's World League Wrestling. It is the house that Harley Race built. I'm CT Harrison.
I'm Martin Kadish.
And we'll see you next Sunday.
Yep.